What's up, shifters? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gregson, and thanks for tuning into another video. It's a beautiful day here in New Jersey, and I've actually tried to make this video for you about 4 times because, well, it's March here in New Jersey, and yeah, the weather doesn't really cooperate. Last week we had 2.5 inches of snow. Yesterday we had monsoon rain, but today it is gorgeous outside, and I need to get that car washed. That is my 2016 Volvo V60 Polestar with a beautiful inline 6-cylinder engine. But much like the weather, that car isn't perfect. Today I wanted to give you the 5 things that I really don't like, or the 5 things I hate about this car. So we're gonna hop in, we're gonna go get a car wash to make it look a little bit better, and I'm gonna tell you what I really kind of have not really just things I don't like about the car over my last year of ownership. Before we hop in, I want to do a huge thank you to everyone that has watched these videos. We've already gotten 1,000 subscribers on this channel, so editor, could you please throw in some confetti here? 1,000 subscribers! Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support on our old channel, Shifting Lanes 1. Please go there if you want to look at OEM reviews of new cars or just interesting things that we've done in the past. But this channel is for our personal cars, and you guys have made it possible for us to get this channel monetized already. So now that we're making money here and on Shifting Lanes 1, we can start doing more cool stuff for most of our cars. We have this, we have Hanson's Volvo. Well, he had a Volvo at one point, but he doesn't anymore. He has a Veloster N, a Hyundai Veloster N, and that's a cool car. We also have Chad's Mustang. That's going to be on channel. He has a inordinate amount of parts that he is going to be putting on that car soon. You're going to see a lot more cool stuff on this channel, and we are live streaming too. Go check out the link in the description below to our live streaming channel, and you're also getting live stream highlights on this channel too. So if you're already coming back and you're not subscribed, why the hell not? Just subscribe. I mean, just subscribe. But thank you to everyone who has supported us so far to get us to 1,000 subscribers. And without further ado, let's hop in there and let's talk about the 5 things that I hate about this car, and let's get a car wash to make it look so much better. Yes, I just cold started that car, and yes, I did rev it while it was cold. Sue me. All right, we're on the road, and let's talk about the first thing that I hate about this car is the electronics are a bit wonky, I gotta be honest with you. Of all the cars that I've ever had, even the V70R, the basic electronics are the wonkiest in this car. The Bluetooth doesn't really connect very well. Sometimes I have to go in and actually just manually do it. So it's not like the best automatic connection. There are, the Sensus system itself sort of randomly shuts off sometimes when I'm driving the car. I've been trying to get a video of it to show you guys, but it's so quick that, and I'm obviously paying attention to the road when I'm driving. Like, I'm not even looking at you guys most of the time. Now I'm just stopped at a red light, so now I can look at you more, but I don't really see it until it happens, and then I try to whip my phone out and I try to get it, and it's not working, and I'm never usually driving with anyone. Mostly I'm driving by myself, so I can't really catch it in time. But the whole system itself, the Sensus system and a lot of the electronics in here, it's just sort of a little weird. My Volvo On Call just expired, and I would love to renew it, but this has a 3G connection. They don't have the upgrades fully capable yet for these cars, the older cars, for a 4G connection or a 4G LTE connection. So they're still trying to do that, so I can't really check it. But when I had remote started the car and I came back in here, the car kind of shuts off when I get in here after a remote start from the Volvo On Call app, and sometimes in the middle it's been saying there's a bulb out. I looked at all the bulbs and checked them all with the car on. There's no bulb out. Inside, outside, literally nothing. So it's just like little weird stuff, and that doesn't make me it's not very confidence inspiring, because Volvo on the whole is known in the Volvo community for not being the best manufacturer for electronics in their cars, especially with the P2 platforms that I had in the past with the V70R and that whole thing. But even that car was more reliable on connecting to like a Bluetooth connector that I had in the cigarette lighter. So yeah, the first thing is just it's a little bit wonky on the electronics. Not a huge fan of that. All right, second thing that I hate about this car is, well, I guess it's not a hate thing, and all of these are really sort of like nitpicky, honestly. They're not, you know, it's 5 things I hate for the YouTube clicks, to be honest. honest with you, that for the people that aren't watching this from as a subscriber. The second thing I hate is the interior room is a little smaller than I'd like. This is comparably sized to a 2014 WRX hatchback or a BMW E9X M3. So the E90 and E91, the sedan and the wagon versions of that, they're very close. If you go on like an Auto Trader or Cars.com and you do the comparison tool and you go to the interior dimensions, they're almost everything's within an inch or a half an inch. So it's very similar to being in one of those cars. And honestly, from a Volvo wagon, I was hoping for a little bit more room. The V70R is another one of those. It's a longer car, but the interior room, especially in the back seats, it's not great. And you can see back here, like, I have, well, there's a dog cover there now, but, I have 2 car seats that go back there, for both my kids, and they fit fine. The thing is, I'm short. I'm only 5'6", so if you are 5'8" or above, and you have these big, kind of beefy car seats for toddlers, not just infants back there, you're not going to fit in this driver's seat very comfortably at all. Literally at all. I think if you're 6 foot and you have 2 kids, you can't own this car. I don't think it's possible to be in a comfortable seating position with those seats behind the driver's seat. I wish it was a little bit bigger in here, honestly. And the trunk too, or the boot, as you guys know, internationally, as it's called. It's not the most space I've ever seen. It's not great. The V70R was definitely bigger. I mean, I understand that the V90 now in the new SPA cars, that's the bigger one, sure. But even the new V60 is a little bit better packaged, and I was hoping for a little bit more room. It's still a great wagon, and honestly, there's a ton of room in here for me to do activities.
So many activities!
I just wish it was just that little bit more. Ooh, so much cleaner. Yeah, baby. Yes, for those of you wondering, I did just put my car through a scratch wash, as a lot of you like to call it. But quite frankly, I don't care. Because you know what? That's why car detailers exist. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eventually wrap this car, and it's gonna get like basically a full paint correction before the wrap goes on. So there's like 2 shops around here that I wanna use. I'm gonna go to each one and see which one gives better price and does better work. So yeah, it's really not a huge thing, guys. It really isn't. It really isn't. Third thing that I do not like about this car, and preface this one with a huge grain of salt because I knew what I was getting into, guys. The ride quality in here is not good. This is a performance version of a family mid-sized wagon. So, the ride quality I knew was going to be a little bit worse than, say, the V60R design, which is like the sporty version of the normal, V60s. However, I didn't realize it was going to be like that bad. And when I say bad, like the ride quality isn't like horrible. It's not like a supercar where it's like the stiffest suspension ever. This thing does have adjustable Öhlins dampers. However, it has 80% stiffer springs than the R design. So almost 100% stiffer springs than the R design. So when you go over bumps, like here's the manhole cover. Yeah, that wasn't exaggerated. That's what it feels like. Like my head all like moves like that. Another one. Yep, that's a real thing. So it's not jarring, but on back roads, I live in New Jersey, which in the US is called the Rust Belt because they salt everywhere. And if you've seen any of the last vlogs I've done, they salt these roads so much, and everything rusts out. And that not only does a ton of damage to cars, but it also does a ton of damage to the roads. So the roads around here, they're not horrible, but they're not in good shape. On the highway, this thing is a beautiful cruiser. It's so nice, it's smooth, it tracks so straight, and it's one of the better GT cars that I've like literally ever had. And I've legitimately had like a GT sports car and an Aston Martin V8 Vantage. It rides better than that thing did. It's not a great ride. It's a great mile muncher, but on a back road, when you really want to be attacking the back road on summer tires and wheels and everything, I hope the road's nice because you're just gonna feel every single bump on the way through your butt. Now through the steering wheel, the driving experience it's about average. It's not like the most responsive thing in the world, and you're not getting like a ton of road feedback. However, it's better than some of the more modern electrical systems that have electrical drive, and you can't really get any feedback through the wheel. So it's about average. But overall, the ride quality, For what this car was $62,000 when new, and that is a lot of money. And even like I've been in M cars, I've been in AMGs, those have drastically better ride quality than this does. It's so bumpy in here. So yeah, ride quality, not great. Something I would really love to maybe improve over time. So we're on to the fifth and final reason as to why I dislike this car. Like I said, this is kind of nitpicky stuff, but again, along the lines of luxury and what I was just talking about with prices is the new cars are just, they're significantly nicer inside. This platform, the P3 platform, which ran at least for the V60s, I believe from 2008 to 2018. So it was a pretty long run of 10 years. They did have a facelift in there. These just, they're nice inside, but they're not even on the same level as the new ones. The interiors and the new Volvos, like I said, they are some of the best in the game. I would wager probably the best in my opinion for how they're laid out. I know a lot of people like the new Audis and the new BMWs, but they're getting way too over-designed. The Volvos are simple, they're beautiful, they're elegant, and they just are a better, it's just better value for money from an interior perspective. Let's listen to that engine. Oh my God, that's just so nice. It sounds so good. So along those lines, the SPA cars, the 2015, 2016 Plus from Volvo, they're just way nicer. This, if I had to choose based on interior and not my weirdness of just liking interesting cars, I would probably have a new V60. I think it's one of the best looking cars ever made. I think the interior is one of the best looking interiors out there, and if not ever made, and if not the best one made today. This is, and I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again on my full review of this car, this is a adult's Subaru WRX. It's nicer than a Subaru WRX. It's way more refined. The build quality's better. And if you are looking for the next step up from a Subaru WRX and you want a wagon, this is the car to buy. You can get the R design and tune it and do whatever you need to, but the Polestar is really where it's at, and it's just a fantastic car in that respect, but the new ones are just way nicer. Ooh, we back home, and look at how clean she is. That is, ooh, chef's kiss.
Benissimo.
It's so nice to have a clean car. Hopefully we are done with the crazy amount of salt and crap from the winter, and we can have a nice, beautiful, clean car from now on. That would be wonderful. So that is the 5 things that I really don't like about this car. And if you couldn't tell, I'm kind of grasping for straws here. This is a great car. This is the best car I have ever owned, hands down. I loved the V70R, loved the E90 M3 I had, loved the Aston Martin V8 Vantage, but all 3 of those cars are just on platforms that aren't really like crazy reliable. This thing has been dead reliable. It's awesome, it performs, it's a great value for money, and honestly, there's just a couple of things I don't like. There's no such thing as a perfect car. There really isn't. I don't care what you guys say, there just isn't. This thing is about as close as I've ever found to a perfect car for me. So I'm going to be keeping this thing, and like I said in the last video, unless someone offers me like 50, 60 grand for this thing, it's not going anywhere. If you want to offer me $50,000, $60,000, please, I will take it, and you know, but that's not real. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. In the next couple of videos, and I think you guys can kind of tell that I've been padding to get to this next couple of videos, is we're gonna take this thing to the dyno. So this weekend, I'm throwing the summer tires back on, summer wheels, and we're gonna go to the dyno. We are going to make, well, we're not gonna make, we're gonna see how much power this thing has. After that, we're gonna throw a downpipe on it, we're gonna throw a tune on it, and go to the strip. Well, we're gonna go to the strip before that, but we are also going to make sure that we get everything from the baseline. So dyno, strip, if I can fit it in, track drive. If not, we'll do dyno and strip, then downpipe, then tune, then strip, or downpipe, tune, dyno again to see how much power we made, then go back to the strip, see how much time we took off. So with that said, please consider subscribing, and please consider following us on Instagram and Facebook. It's at Shifting Lanes. You can follow me at RealGregsonM, and stay tuned for a lot of really cool stuff to come with this, and a lot of cool stuff to come on our other cars like the Mustang and the Veloster N. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. See ya.